You know, the future is more of the same, only more advanced. It's dangerous to assume that that we can actually see the future by only looking at the technological advancements we've made so far.
It's really an honor to host our second annual Afrofuturism Fest. So Afrofuturism is an idea that was, actually the term was coined back in 1993. There was a white writer and essayist, and he was wondering why there were so few black sci-fi writers. The concept of Afrofuturism really preceded him, right? So we have sci-fi authors, one that we were honoring during this festival, Octavia Butler, who we in fact call the sort of the godmother of Afrofuturism.
So whenever I work with a client, I have to understand what the experience is that we want to create. So once I understood what that was and I understood what we wanted to base this Afrofuturism Fest around, I knew who I needed to call. The first day was Libations and Liberation. And that day was really important because that's what this is all based on. We have to celebrate, and we do that through, a lot of times, libations.
But the purpose is to invoke the presence, to evoke the remembrance, the names of our ancestors. And by merely calling their name, we keep their presence, their essence alive. Ashe? Ashe. I pour this libation in remembrance of our great ancestors.
And so that is how we kicked off the very first few moments of the day. And then we went into a libations panel with some rock star, amazing women who are all very near and dear to me. And I brought them all together because I knew they have a story to tell. And they're inspiring, and they're in a world that is dominated by men. The libations industry is not an easy one, especially when it involves alcohol.
What makes me different? Because of the color of my skin? What makes me different is I'm a threat to you and these major corporations. Afrofuturism is we are creating our own tables in an industry that is not meant for us. Wasn't even considered for us. But here we are, making waves in this industry. And we're going to create these tables so that we can bring you with us.
When you look at it, it's like, you're not a valid winemaker, you don't own your own vineyard. Well, how can you when we've been, again, prevented from doing that? And then now you look at, there is a movement, there is a real movement going on, and from winemaker to distributor to the tech side, there's opportunity there, digital wine labels. How do we make it so that you have a virtual wine experience where you can smell it, you're sitting here in Charlotte, North Carolina, but it feels like you're in South Africa at one of their vineyards.
Technology is very, very important, and the better we embrace that without feeling afraid and working with people that can help us with those tools is going to be the growth of this industry.
What we wanted to do as BlkTech Interactive and BlkTech Charlotte was to create a space where we could begin to think about and imagine that future for ourselves that we define.
We created a protocol. It's called the biometric legal protocol. And what I knew, one of my gifts, we gonna keep leaning into the gifts and the ancestors. One of my gifts is I can see into the future. So what this protocol does, it calls upon the existing companies that provide these biometric services to include mitigative measures to decrease bias and discrimination in technology, so humanity in tech. And if they don't do it, they get fined. And if they continue to not do it, then they lose their contract. Just that simple.
And one day I woke up really early in the morning. I think it was around December 2017. I was like, I want to create something that would be that will motivate and encourage people long after I leave this earth. And then that's that same night. And was it you that mentioned God Hours? It was like doing God Hours. It was like I was like, I want to create the Carolina Film Festival. And in that same year, I didn't procrastinate. I worked to it. I got incorporated. And then it really blew up. Like, it was a really big festival our first year, and it's been a history since then.
So we wanted to have all the elements of fun and family and bringing people together. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna include some technology, but I'm gonna include some things that are just plain fun and people don't get to see every day. From the time it opened up to the time we closed the doors, people had an experience. And that experience was all about bringing everybody together and helping them see elements of Africa. This is all about the motherland, elements of ancestors. We had the African drumming and the African dance, and you heard people talk about what that originated from. What's the spirit and the source of the djembe drum? What's the spirit and the source of the Afro-soca dancing? We want to understand our history so we know that's what's important.
But with an unconference, we're asking all of you to participate. Bring your creativity, your innovation, your problem-solving skills to a series of problems or a series of challenges that we have pre-identified.
Ideation is our greatest weapon of mass creation. Today we're going to learn about that ideation process by collaborating with each other, generating big ideas around socially impactful questions, and hopefully moving closer to actions that are going to lead us in developing an equitable future. So essentially we want to, what's the businesses, what's the industries, what's the companies that's going to fast track us to gaining lots of wealth, lots of power, so that we're not relying on Duke Energy for our power in our communities. We're not relying on these real estate companies, right, or Walmart. We have our own communities that are, our own businesses and communities that are sovereign, right, that they have absolute power and wealth.
Distribution together, buys these areas, buys the land, buys places where nobody's buying into, and build their own little ecosystem. You don't have to worry about any rent or any high quality. You control that.
If we don't become the source of energy and solutions and still create art and love and just be, then we'll be an extinct people. So you don't often see us in like sci-fi films in the future. So maybe that is a prediction by some other people that we might not be there. So we have to counteract that.
I like the format because you started with where can you go? You had actual entrepreneurs here that shows that it can be done. It can be done by our people. Then yesterday you took us back to our roots. We can't go into the future unless we're anchored to our roots. So you gave an idea of where we came from and why this is necessary for us as a people. And now today you showed us how to do it, where you want to take it, what's your idea, and what do you have to contribute to the community. So I love the whole thing.
I appreciate y'all for putting this together for sure, and like just showing people that there's like people out who care for real. So people need that. And I just want to say that these seats need to be packed to the walls.
Phenomenal. I had no idea what to expect. I was only here for a short part of the experience, but you know, the conversations, the way people are thinking, the gentlemen back here are just like listening to their conversation shows that the mind of our young black men are really advanced and they're having these kind of conversations, which I love and adore.
So Afrofuturism to me is being able to understand where I came from and see where we're going.
Afrofuturism is disruptive.
Is excellence and royalty.
I think of a world of where black people have evolved into a futuristic world full of technology that is made for us, by us.
Afrofuturism is freedom.
It's innovation. It's redefining.
Afrofuturism is worldwide.
Black folk. I'll sum it up like this, right? BlkTech Interactive. Boom.
So either we're going to get our own planet or not. So let us know